welcome to Sunrise Extra on your Thursday. Happy Thursday. Hey, as we wait for Facebook to join us, and now we are up on Facebook and everywhere else. Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sunrise Extra on your Thursday. Okay, do you guys follow Chrissy Teigen?
No,
on
do not.
social media?
Over 3.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
I mean, I know she's
funny
funny on social media.
So this is where I kind of first heard this yesterday, and now it's become a whole thing. So there's the workout places called Equinox and SoulCycle, and they're owned by, or the majority investor is the same person. He owns the Miami Dolphins football team, and he is a major Trump supporter. And so tomorrow he is hosting a big fundraiser for President Trump. That news has now gotten to the celebrity clientele who go and do these spin classes at SoulCycle. So you may have seen on your social feed yesterday, people like Bravo's Andy Cohen, Chrissy Teigen, Amber Tamlin, Sophia Bush, Billy Eichner, all these celebrities going on social media and telling their followers to cancel their memberships to these places because of this link to President Trump. People are split on this issue, saying, don't just go out and tell en masse people what to do just based on, you know, your opinion. I mean, it is their social media account. They can do what they want.
Sure.
Other people saying, yeah, I'm going to vote with my dollars and, you know, choose businesses that kind of align with my politics. So we are asking this morning, do you take politics into account when you choose to patronize businesses? And because this story is now all over the place. Andy Cohen had just gotten done, I think, with his SoulCycle class, and on Instagram stories posted about it, but then reposted a video saying he was going to keep his membership. And, you know, you guys can do what you want. I'm going to keep mine, but now I know kind of the...
Wait, so he took it back, kind of?
He went on and just told people, hey, this, you know, one of the majority
just wants
investors.
people to know that.
He wanted to know, and then he said, hey, listen, I thought about it. I am going to keep my membership, but now I am smarter for knowing like who's behind this business, and I just wanted you to know. So this is kind of the article. While you guys are weighing in, this is the USA Today article. It says, Equinox and SoulCycle members are boycotting these gyms over this Trump re-election fundraiser. And this is an Instagram post that Chrissy Teigen got. She got a message from this woman who's saying she's irritated. She saw the video by Chrissy Teigen, who she loves to follow, who just told the world to cancel all memberships with Equinox and SoulCycle because they're hosting a Trump fundraiser. Are we seriously not using businesses now that don't have the same political views as us? No matter who any person or business supports should not affect personal relationships or ruin businesses just because they do not support who you support. So Chrissy posted this, and then I know it has a bad word on here. It's okay. The internet has no FCC rules, Camera J. Our boss has told me that. It's okay. Yes, we are. These different views you speak of are fundamental differences in compassion, empathy, and humanity. And this is the message from SoulCycle. So they say in this middle paragraph, they in no way endorse the political fundraising event being held later this week. SoulCycle has nothing to do with the event and does not support it. And they say Mr. Ross, Stephen Ross, is a passive investor, they call him. The USA Today and other news organizations call him a majority investor, and he is not involved in the management of SoulCycle. So we have been getting a lot of comments on this. Free One Forever on Twitter says, yes, she does take politics into account when patronizing businesses. SoulCycle isn't my thing, but now that I know, it will never be. Glenn says, no, he doesn't take politics into account. Matthew says, absolutely, vote with your dollars. And here on Facebook, let's see, let's click on this if it works. Jason is being sarcastic, saying he visited a lemonade stand and after speaking to the 8-year-old discovered we disagreed politically. I stormed off. I'm not giving her my 10 cents. Kelly says, yes, I do take politics into account. I also stopped supporting artists who have differing political opinions. We are all entitled to our own opinions. And Brendan says, why support a racist? So a lot of people really split on this because this has now kind of become the thing where celebrities or famous people kind of go on and give their opinion and tell people to do something.
Well,
and
it's
then,
a very political edition of
yeah, what are
Sunday's
people saying
excerpt.
on
Well,
Facebook Live
it's
right
not all
now?
kind. It's not all nice. That's how it gets when people start to share
Yeah.
their political beliefs. John A. Phillips says only a liberal would do that in reference to would you stop supporting a business because of their political beliefs. He says only a liberal would do that. If it's a good business, he says he will shop there. But then I float down the stream here and I see someone saying it's Gloria Thompson. I never used to consider political beliefs before I go shopping, but she says that was before number 45 in reference
President
to
Trump.
our President Trump.
Where my mind goes, though, is just to the employees who literally have nothing to do with any
with
of
it.
this.
Yeah.
And like, that's where I would feel bad if things
People
get
lost
so
their jobs or
divisive and if
something,
companies close or have to lay off. I mean, I don't know if that's happening or would happen, but that's where my mind instantly goes, is to the people who have nothing to do with this whole topic. They're just trying to go to their jobs at wherever these places are.
Right.
I think it's
that's
fine
what you feel
if
for.
you are actually, because just because somebody says it doesn't mean you have to do it.
Sure.
Right.
And I feel like that is perhaps the bigger knock. If somebody brings something to your attention and then you investigate it on your own to figure out if this is something that you believe in or you don't and you want to take action, then I'm totally fine with that. But I feel like sometimes these days it's really knee-jerk. It's like, oh, they said this.
Yeah.
And then let's all repeat this, all share this
Right.
without you doing your due diligence. I guess that's my bigger issue with
That's a good
it.
point.
You know, you think about a woman who may have bought into a franchise to start one of these soul cycles in some outlying city in LA,
Right, yeah.
and thinks like, I'm going to start this
Yeah,
business,
like
good
a small
for me, I'm
business,
happy,
totally.
and then there's a major shareholder of the overall company that someone doesn't believe. It trickles down. I'm sure she never thought of being a political decision to open this small business, but now her business could be killed essentially because people are saying, hey, you stand for the wrong thing. She's like, I'm standing for good workouts.
Right,
She didn't even
right.
consider the political aspects
There's
of
just
it.
so much information out there that we would have never heard of this guy ever before. Now the internet and, you're able to Google and who knows, what's real and what's not. But years ago, you would have never known who owns any of these companies
Right.
or who's an investor. The one I think about just in day-to-day life is like donating to somewhere like Goodwill, where you hear like the CEO makes $500 million a year or something, and you think of it as this wonderful nonprofit, and it does incredible work, giving jobs to people with disabilities and teaching those life skills of employment. But then you think, and it's so convenient because you see the Goodwill drop-off locations everywhere, but then other people are like, oh, choose Salvation Army or Union Gospel Mission or something, where it's more of a drive, to get there or to actually donate. But you just kind of think about like, okay, who am I giving my things to? Who am I spending my money with?
It's my wife has so many cousins. I think I can get away with this. No one will know which cousin I'm talking about, but she has a cousin who was so vocal on Facebook about do not make donations to Goodwill because of the very reason you brought up. She was citing the fact that the CEO makes so much money in what's supposed to be a nonprofit. But then I always think of like the individuals who have a job through Goodwill who would not otherwise have a job. They give great employment opportunities for people who would not be able to get a job otherwise. And so I'm thinking, I'm sure those people are happy that you may be making a donation or supporting Goodwill. So it's, I guess my point is you may be going after this higher up, but you may be hurting this little person down here. And that's what always scares me about it.
Right. A lot of you guys chiming in this morning on Facebook Live. That's what we're kind of checking when we look down on here. And no, I'm not taking pictures of myself on my phone. We have Instagram Live on my phone, and I can see you guys interacting with us. Rob St. Helen, one of our great viewers on Instagram, to answer the question, no, I don't. Each one of us is entitled to our own opinion. Yes, and you are voting with your dollars if that's how you choose.
Sue,
go ahead.
I was going to say, I
Nina.
love Sue Collins' comment. So sick and tired of all the arguing and hate going on. We raise and teach our kids to love, respect others, and to form their own opinions without being bullied. We also tell them to get along with everyone and be kind. This is getting so old with the split divide. It becomes easier to turn off the news, relax, and be thankful for what we have.
Very
I feel
true.
like so many people
Very
are like,
true.
you know what, I don't even want to hear about it anymore.
We need to be able to get back, though, to, I don't know, maybe get back is completely the wrong characterization. Maybe we never really did have it dialed in so well, but we need to be able to talk about things that we disagree on.
people scream at each other.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Well, I don't see that stopping. People instantly want to.
That is the problem.
I don't know.
We have to start somewhere.
I thought we were going to say we need to get back to the viewer recipe segment, but maybe we're not there yet.
Oh,
not there
I
yet.
would like
We
that
could.
as well.
Super quick before, because we did tease this online.
Sure.
There's kind of a fun story out there that I know we talked about movies yesterday, but there's another one, folks. But this one sounds kind of good. It's not a remake. It's a sequel of the 1988 comedy Coming to America. You know, with Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall.
Yep.
They were working at the McDowell's, McDonald's, you know, restaurant. And so they're making a sequel. Wesley Snipes, who I haven't seen that dude in years
Where you been,
and
Wesley?
years. I don't know.
Well, he's been in the news, actually.
Tax evasion or
now and
something.
again.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
That's correct.
He's going to be in the new Coming to America. Eddie Murphy is back. I don't know about Arsenio Hall. Saturday Night Live's Leslie Jones is going to be in it. It sounds funny. I think it's good. So we wanted to know, just for fun, like what movie, old movie, would you want to see a sequel of? Because Top Gun's coming back.
I'm not so big fan of the remakes, like a movie that's already been done. Let's just do it again. But I do like a good sequel.
Okay.
Yeah.
And good sequels are hard to find, but like the Top Gun one, I am excited to see that.
I would
Maybe
totally
it's
watch
going to
it.
stink. I won't know until we see it, right? But I am looking forward to seeing, you know, the Tom Cruise character 30 years later. What the heck is going on with that?
Yeah.
And now this, it's like, I really love these ones that are like, oh, that's so stupid to put a sequel together 30 years later. No, I've been thinking about that movie for 30 years.
Oh my gosh.
I want to know what's up with the characters now. Bring it back.
America was so dang funny, though.
It was. Great movie.
I mean, do you guys ever watch comedians in cars getting coffee with
Sometimes.
Jerry Seinfeld? Eddie Murphy was on this latest season that just dropped on Netflix a couple of weeks ago, and he hasn't been seen in a long time, and he kind of talks about that. And so it's a good episode with Seinfeld. And
Did he mention this at all? Because I hadn't heard this coming, this sequel to...
He kind of hinted that he was going to be back doing stand-up comedy, which is something he hasn't done in years and years. I mean, he's done all those... what are the Eddie Murphy, like, kind of family comedies?
Dr. Dolittle.
Yeah.
Nutty Professor.
Nutty Professor and all that stuff. And he's like, you know, a lot of those I'm not super proud of, but it was like cash. Yeah, quick, easy money.
Yeah.
And
You don't have to be proud of them if you're
an alimony.
No.
Stand-up comedy is tough, right? We all agree, like, not that any of us have done it or tried to do it for a living, but you know it's tough, and it's so hard to keep that edge.
Yeah.
To be a stand-up comedian for like a
what he
really
said.
good one for more than 5 or, 10 years, almost impossible. You just don't see it. It's hard to be edgy on stage that long. And he definitely got to a point in his life where he's like, I don't think I need to stand up here and put myself through this anymore.
Well, and he was, I mean, this is totally off topic, but it's kind of fun to talk about. In that show with Jerry Seinfeld, he was saying, once you start getting money, like you just become less funny because you're not like driven and you're not kind of
like
in the
hungry
in
for
the
it.
trenches and like weird stuff is happening to you
get
because you're so
comfortable, baby.
insulated.
Yeah.
And that's what he said. He's like, I started doing stand up about like how rich I was and what I was getting paid, and he's like, I was looking at
And nobody can
crowd,
relate
and
to
nobody
that.
can relate or laugh about it.
Starting artists are the best artists.
Yeah.
They're hungry. And I'm hungry too. Can we make the transition
right.
now? There's your transition, people. Because this is actually, Nina, the final viewer recipe segment of the summer.
Walk over,
Summer's
man.
not over.
Walk over.
Summer is not over,
Angie's
but we are
our
wrapping up
last.
this. Man, we started this the first Thursday in May. Because we thought, hey, you know, during the month of May, let's do a little viewer recipe series, and we'll get people ready for summer, and we'll share summer favorites and these terrific summertime recipes. And then they were good, so we said, hey, let's just do it into June. And then they were still good, so we said, we'll get into July, but I'm not going to be here, or you're not here next week. I won't be here the week after that. So we said, this is going to be it, and we're going to end.
Summer's
dessert.
over now, and this is how it ends. I like it.
Well, based on the fact that it may only be 69 degrees tomorrow outside, maybe this
Jeez.
is the end of summer. Anyways, Angie, what did you bring to us today?
S'more bars.
S'mores bars.
Yep. And they're super easy to make. It's a graham cracker crust, a brownie on the top, then marshmallows and graham crackers under the broiler for a minute. Please be careful with that. Don't burn them. And then just chocolate chips, wait 20 minutes, and then Hershey bars on top of that.
I mean, when I think of s'mores, that is really like a child experience, right? You go out, the campfire. I mean, we've done it in our own backyard. You roast the marshmallows, you make the s'mores.
And all over you.
They are messy. This is a cleaner version, although
Very clean.
the graham cracker crust does
It's
get
a
little
little
messy.
bit, a little crumbly.
Different kind of messy, but if you've got a plate, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
My point was this: when I was eating these at your house the other day, I liked that as I took that bite, I still had that smell of somewhat burnt marshmallow on my s'more, because you know you're going to roast your marshmallows sometimes to the point of burntness. Were you trying to use that knife while you're holding the phone with the other hand, Nina?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
It's not wrong, it's just dangerous.
Yeah.
That's what
We
we
don't
do
like
here
danger
on
the Extra show. So Nina experiencing her first s'mores bars bite, and you do still get that roasted marshmallow taste with your oven-baked s'mores bars, correct? Try talking with that now. That's really dangerous. Angie, talk about the process, because you really can whip this together, start to finish, in probably 30 minutes or less.
Yeah, it's not, it's not
40
too bad.
minutes or less.
Yeah, I think that's not.
45 minutes or less. Stop me when I'm right.
You're right.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. It's just making the graham cracker crust, taking a box of brownie, whatever brownie mix you want to use, putting it on top after you bake it for 10 minutes. You throw in the brownie mix, bake that for 25 minutes. Pull it out, put the marshmallows and the graham crackers under the broiler, and then chocolate chips after it comes out of the broiler, and then 20 minutes after that, put the Hershey bar pieces in.
Angie is unique, Nina. No one else can claim what I'm about to present to Angie.
What?
She holds the title of only 3-time viewer recipe participant.
You know, 3 times. That's awesome.
Yeah.
We started this segment 3 years ago doing viewer recipes. We've done Thanksgiving week recipes, holiday week recipes. We've done backyard barbecues, Super Bowl. This summer we decided to do it once a week over the course of many weeks. And in all honesty, what happened was we had a brand new viewer who never experienced the goodness of the viewer recipe segment before dialed in for this week. She was going to make us a blackberry crisp or a blackberry cobbler, thank you, blackberry cobbler. And on late Friday, she sends me a message saying, I can't make it. Work was not going to allow her to do this part of it. And I was like, ugh, what am I going to do? We're supposed to shoot on Monday. I'm going to the sure thing.
And Angie was the sure thing.
Because Angie had already submitted a recipe, and I was like, we've already had Angie on the show. Maybe we should try somebody new. But I said, Angie, I've got this last minute
Friend
idea.
of the show.
And she said, this is a great dessert. So I thought this is a great way to end the summer segment with a traditional treat like a s'mores in a new way, in a new form. So you actually also operate a daycare.
Yes, I do.
Do your kids get to take advantage of these s'mores bars, and what are their opinions?
Yes, I do, but in a lot smaller version because I don't want to have sugary kids bouncing off the walls.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they do, and they do like them a lot.
Who likes it more, the kids that you watch or the Dragon Boat teammates that you participate in dragon boating with?
I'm thinking my Dragon Boat team because they love they're big dessert.
Sugar.
Yeah, sugar. We need that to
need
power
the
the boat,
energy, right?
Yeah.
And you guys have a big competition this weekend, huh?
Yep, we're up in Victoria for a big Dragon Boat festival up there.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did this goofy move when describing your Dragon Boat team. That's not right. This is rowing.
Rowing.
You paddle.
Paddle. Yep.
The Dragon Boat paddlers. So again, if you want to try this at home yourself, the easy way to do that would be to visit my KGW TV Facebook page. There you see the latest post. Look at that. Look at Angie shoving that s'mores bar right into my mouth because she's got a pool in her backyard there, Nina.
So jealous.
3.5-foot pool. That's my style of pool because
Yeah.
I typically find that I can't drown in a 3.5 pool. I mean, you can.
possible.
It is possible, but I feel myself pretty safe in a pool of that size.
Especially with a floaty that big.
And we were hanging out there, and we fed the recipe to my face, and you can follow the recipe right
my
there
face.
by way of the Facebook
And we
page.
had my daughter there who's a lifeguard, so we figured if he does
She
drown,
was on standby.
Yeah, he'd
Gonna
be
have to
fine.
lift him out after all these s'mores bars. I love it. All right, the
High five,
recipe is
Angie.
on Facebook. High five.
Great
You guys
way
are
to end
awesome.
series.
Yeah.
Tommy on Facebook. I'm not walking around recording myself on my phone. I got Instagram here. We got Instagram Live.
Hey.
So I'm not that vain.
We're not opposed to another idea. I mean, you're not doing this because you love the idea of walking around the studio with a
No,
phone in
they
your hand
make
the whole
you do
time.
it on a phone. So see, we've got Instagram Live here. We got people watching on there. So, you know, I'm not just out here
Can
for myself.
someone create an invention that would float through the studio, allowing Nina to be hands-free, but yet still allow her phone to record everything that we see
Someone
and
will
do
respond.
on the extra
A
program?
drone, yeah. So we want to catch up with some of the comments that you guys are leaving about the original question of, do you take politics into account when you patronize a business? After some celebrities like Chrissy Teigen and stuff told followers to drop their memberships at Equinox and SoulCycle after they realized that one of the majority investors is planning a big fundraiser for President Trump tomorrow. So after that long-winded explanation,
Repeat it. I missed the first part.
no. Scott Lewis says no, he does not take into politics into his business decisions. They have their opinion just like I do. If they do honest business and don't discriminate against the customers, I don't have a problem with their political view. as long as they don't have one with mine. Well said.
Did you get Mai's comment? I believe it's, maybe it's Mal. I can't tell if that's an I or an L. M-A-L, Mal, says, you know, I only worry about product and price. Those are the two things I consider when going shopping.
Definitely fair. Let's see, Monica, is that who you said? Whatever happened to religion and politicians being a private choice? You can't have a civil conversation about differences anymore. And Paula says, yes, absolutely. She takes politics into account when she patronizes businesses. Mark says, only if the business decides it needs to use its position to make political statements or being derogatory.
I tried to turn the conversation into s'mores bars, but the people want to talk about this.
It is.
I can't stop the people,
I
Nina.
know. We got the recipe on Facebook. What about, like, did you ever notice when you go to In-N-Out Burger or like Chick-fil-A, and on the bottom of the cups it has like a Bible verse, you know, like John 3:16 or something?
I will honestly tell you, I have not noticed that.
You never knew that?
No.
Because what is it, the family's owners or?
I think I've been to In-N-Out Burger twice in my life, and I've only been to Chick-fil-A maybe 5
I think
times.
it's like when you look under the cup and on the inside rim it says John 3:16. On Forever 21 bags, the clothing store Forever 21, it says the same thing. For the
You
owners.
want my opinion on that? I had to form one to give you one.
Well, no, I'm not asking for, I don't think you should give your opinion.
Thank you.
I'm just saying it is unusual, and not unusual, but like a lot of people take that into account if they're against, you know, religion or whatever.
Chick-fil-A is still widely popular around the country, despite all this, you know, they're in the news a lot, and yet they still drive in the customers one way, shape, or form.
good
So it's
chicken,
not stopping everyone, but I can see where, yes, if you look at the bottom and that strikes you as odd, that may keep you from going back.
Yeah. Interesting conversation.
Again, that's not my opinion. Nina didn't want it.
No, I don't
I'm
want
sharing
your
the opinion of others.
Hey, thank you guys for discussing
There we
this
go.
with us and sharing your views. We always like to kind of talk about the hot topics of the day and s'mores, of course. So we will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys. Have a wonderful day.